Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video by yours truly. I wanted to provide some tips that I feel are going to be beneficial to you as you embark on your AFK journey. You like what I did there? Overall, they're going to help you develop and progress your account as you're playing the game and hopefully avoid some mistakes along the way as well. Now, before we get into the video, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the AFK Journey team for sponsoring this video. Let's go ahead and get into it. Tip number one, AFK rewards and progress. This is literally one of the most core components of AFK Journey in terms of like building your account up. You literally get rewards by going AFK. I pulled this up right here just so you can see. Right now, I can go AFK for 33 hours and my account in that 33-hour time span will continue to build passive resources. These resources, by the way, this gold, this hero essence, and these books are used to literally level up and build my characters and make them stronger. So this is a core component of the game. I cannot stress that to you enough. Furthermore, right here, it says that I'm going to collect gold and books per hour. You can increase the threshold of these resources that you're going to collect per hour, making it a larger threshold to collect over time by pushing this AFK challenge as much as possible. So we're going to go ahead and collect. As you can see, it says you've been AFK for 1 hour and 11 minutes. In that 1 hour and 11 minute threshold, this is what I've got. They even give you armor pieces to put on your characters, which is really nice. So we'll go ahead and collect it. Boom. Now I can use that to level up my characters. This is the AFK challenge. The more you push this, not only do you get rewards along the way, but it's going to increase that threshold of the resources per hour. So it's very important to push this as much as you can until you run into that wall where you can't go any further. Now, how do you get to this screen? Just go ahead and back up out of here. Down here at the bottom left hand, all right, this AFK progress meter, I'm on 83. We just click on that. Boom, here's the screen and you can go ahead and get right to it. Now, the other thing I want to talk to you about, I've already used up my 2 for the day, but you can get this and it's going to pretty much give you a certain amount of resources in conjunction with the AFK level that you are for completely free. And they give you 2 of them. So you can use those 2, but I typically don't recommend using them until the end of the day where you've pushed this as much as possible. Basically, push as much as you can, and then use this resource, not vice versa. And if you really are trying to like grind it out, you can consume the resource that you also use to get limited banner wishes as well. But yeah, not me. Now I'm saving that. Free to play, by the way. Tip number 2, do your dailies. As in every gacha game, the dailies can be valuable over the course of time and being consistent with them. Go ahead and click on this bottom right over here. We're going to go over to the left-hand panel called Daily Quests. As you can see, I've already done mine, but I just wanted to go over them real quick. You get Hero's Essence, which is used to literally progress your characters and ascend them to a higher level threshold. You get Diamond, which is the most important currency in all gacha games. It's the currency you use to get your limited banner characters, right? So that currency is very important. And then you have Soul Stone. Once you collect 60 of these, you can then consume them and the game will give you a free elite hero. You get a free hero. So after 6 days of doing your dailies, you can get a free elite hero every single week, which is really nice, or a dupe to make them stronger. That's another essence, and then that's another diamond. But the 5 easiest dailies for me to do to knock this out in an efficient manner is going to be push AFK progress. We're going to go over them. Do Dream Realm boss, send friends a gift, collect AFK rewards, and receive gifts from friends. Now, some of these are very fast to knock out. I'll tell you right now, if we come over here to our friends list, let's go ahead and pull up friends over here. If I literally just click on this gift box right here, just click this gift box, boom, that's a daily knocked out, right? Now you want to send as many gifts to friends as you possibly can, and you want to add as many friends so you can fill this collection bar up and get free rewards. But sending a gift to friends, quite literally, is a daily. Furthermore, they will send you gifts as well. And then that is another daily. 2 dailies have already gone out the window and you've already done your job. You only got 3 dailies left to do. The other daily, guess what? When you come over here to AFK progress and you collect your passive rewards, another daily done. Yeah, it's that easy. Now, collecting the instant daily is down here. And I remember I told you you're gonna get these dailies. You're gonna get like 2 of them when you log onto the game on a day-to-day basis. I'm gonna go ahead and consume it just for content purposes. We can click check mark here. Boom, that's another daily knocked out. Finally, if we come over here to the Dream Realm, battle mode, Dream Realm boss, this is something you're gonna want to do anyway because this guy gives you a ton of rewards based off of how much of his HP threshold you've dwindled down. So if you get him to 20% threshold, you're gonna get all of that in the previous rewards. If you kill him entirely, you're gonna get all of those rewards as well as some wishes, which is really nice. So this is something you're gonna try and do anyway. So why not do it? Obviously for the daily as well as trying to get the rewards on a day-to-day basis. This guy does reset daily. It's a different boss every single day. Doing all of that is gonna enable you to knock out your dailies like in rapid fashion. Now, sometimes you can swap out a daily because, I don't know, maybe it's a hindrance for whatever reason, and you can do instead pushing your AFK progress. This also counts as doing a daily. So you push your AFK progress, let them do their thing, and boom, that's another daily knocked out. Another one that can work is PvP Arena. If for whatever reason you're hard stuck during this mode, let me turn this down in case it's a little bit too loud. If you're hard stuck during this mode and you're on a level you just can't get past, go do a PvP Arena just one single time. That'll be another daily knocked out of the park. But overall, they're pretty freaking easy to knock out. Shouldn't take you any longer than honestly 2 to 3 minutes, and then your dailies are done for the day. Tip number 3, come over here to the Mystical House. We're gonna go over here to the Noble Tavern. This is where you do all your wishes. We're gonna come over here to the Epic Recruitment. This is very important. You can literally decide who you wanna have a chance of pulling out of these epic heroes. Now, here's the important part. Some of these heroes obviously are a little bit more valuable in terms of meta and value on your account than other heroes. Case in point, this guy here is literally the best tank in the game. Have you ever played Tryndamere in League of Legends? You know how Tryndamere just doesn't die? That's pretty much this guy out here. And he does a couple of more things as well. You know, he's a tank who comes back to life. He deals damage. He doesn't just tank. So there's a lot of values on him. You're just gonna have to trust me on this. If we go to Pride When tier list, you can even see for yourself, this is the best tank in the game. So you obviously, if you can, you want to try and get this guy as fast as possible and even try and get dupes of him. This person right here is one of the best PvP units in the game, and he looks sick. So I really like him. But if you're a big fan of PvP, he's good. If you're trying to do map progression, which is get through the game, mid to late game, he picks up pretty good as well. So this is another solid unit. This is one of the best healers in the game, but I will say he has a radius heal that cannot hit your tank if your tank is too far out of the radius. This can be viewed as a negative. His attack percent boost is the same way. He heals everyone and gives an attack percent to everyone that's in his radius. So this could be a negative. If this is a negative for you, swap him out for this character right here. This is quite literally the best healer in the entirety of the game. But that is definitely another alternative. These two marksmen are very strong for early game. Like if you're just looking for 2 DPS in the back to just knock people out and have a great time as you're getting through the early game progression, I found these two to be absolutely fantastic. Hopefully that was very helpful to you, but at the very least, do not just let these units be completely random. Choose the ones you want to have, or you can have my advice that I sent your way. But you do have the flexibility to design that the way you want it to be designed. It's pretty cool. And while we're on that topic, all hero recruitment, which is like the standard banner, you have a wish list over here. Same exact concept. You can decide the heroes that you want to eventually get. And it doesn't have to be like, so if I wanted to, I can put this guy right there, right? If I wanted to, I can put her right there. It doesn't matter who you choose. It's up to you and your preference is what I'm trying to get at. So make sure you are tailoring that to the preferences of the heroes that you actually want to have. Tip number 4, join a guild as fast as possible. There's many different incentives that are going to pertain to the guild that will become very apparent when you do join. But one of the main ones is going to the Emporium. You can use your guild points from doing various quests and activities through the guild to buy these 4 units right here. And these 4 units are the most rare units in the game. They can be acquired through the guild by developing enough of this currency, which costs 30,000. But this guy here is the most broken unit. And I want to go over this particular unit in particular. But basically, once you get 30,000, you can buy him. I think this is the one you should buy first above the other ones. Let's go ahead and head over to him and explain to you why he's valuable. So one of the first things I want to point out, I'm on Pride When tier list right now. There's only one unit in the entirety of the game. If you look at all of this, basically they're ranking the units based off the categories like story progression, dream realm bosses, and PvP. There's only one unit out of all of them that's an S+ in every single category. And that is This guy. Rainier is the dude I'm talking about that I told you to pick up from the guild shop. Now that we have this information, now we can get into what he actually does. First and foremost, he's a Hypogen, which is a very unique faction in this game that counts as an additional faction on your team. So if you have 3 faction units on your team, he will count as the 4th faction unit, and you do get bonuses based off of how many of the same faction you have on the field. We'll get into that as well, but he's one of the best supports in the entirety of the game. He has PvP elements that can give you a massive advantage. Just look at any ability he does. He can use a dynamic balance to either boost an ally's attack or lower an enemy's attack, right? So boost your ally's attack or lower the enemy's attack. Survivability or increase damage. W. The next one, he wounds the enemy with his dynamic balance, causing the enemy to receive more damage while reducing the damage taken by your allies. Another massive W. Finally, Supreme Plus, increase the allied hero's attack if they're in symmetrical position with an enemy hero when a battle starts. So just line them up with the heroes, like, right, I see you right across the field, I see you right across the field, attack boost bonus given to him. Then he deals damage. He can switch an ally hero's position with an enemy hero if they're in symmetrical position when the battle starts. That means you can take somebody who's squishy in the back line and put them on your side and then gank them. Like, this dude's just an absolute monster. So he's like the biggest incentive just to join a guild, but there's many more incentives outside of this character. But out of all of them to pick up, I think he's the one you should pick up the most. Anyways, apart from Rainier being broken, joining a guild is also going to give you many different resources and benefits that are going to aid you in your account progression and development. And my final tips for today's video is going to be pertaining to battle, which we got a number of them I want to talk about. First and foremost, how do you go about like positioning characters and putting them out on the field? One of the first things I like to do is I look at the elemental advantage, right? So there's 3 wilders out there, a light bearer and a mauler. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here to the top left corner and I'm going to look at my little cheat sheet here, right? Since there's 3 wilders, that means if I put some maulers out there, they're going to have an advantage, a 15% increase in a damage bonus, right? So I'll just go ahead and put some maulers out there. We got my healers, one of my favorite healers in the game. We got the dart guy. We'll put him in the back because he's a DPS. Like, we got the bruiser / tank up top so he can absorb all the damage. We got the healer sitting behind him. We have the DPS back there so he can just poke away at him. Finally, what we can do is put a Hypogen out there, right? The Hypogen is going to count as an additional mauler. I told you this is what makes this guy broken. And the Hypogen also gives us bonuses just for being a Hypogen. For each Celestial or Hypogen on your team, all deployed heroes attack and HP are plus 1%. And then for every 1 deployed, your attack and HP, all deployed heroes gets another 1%. So that's cracked, but then he counts as an additional synergy for the maulers. So now we have 18% attack percent and HP percent boost, thanks to this Hypogen being on the team in addition to 3. So rule of thumb is try to get 3 of a faction out on the field just to get that additional stat boost, which is very important. And then you put that Hypogen on the field, which just makes things all the more sweeter. So that's one valuable tip. If there's not an elemental advantage, then just choose your most broken team. It's pretty standard. But the next important thing is going to be the preemptive foreshadowing of what's going to occur. So if I click this arrow right here, it'll show every person they're planning to attack. As you can see, since I have my bruiser up front and center, they're all gonna jump on him. This is a good thing, especially when you don't want them attacking particular units, or you have a tank that you want everyone to attack. So I use this to my advantage to see what's going to happen. The thing is, if you click it one more time, then it will show who your units are going to attack, right? This is important when you want to get a unit off the field as fast as possible. There's a unit, this guy here, he can ult soon as the battle starts, which means he can be an assassin as soon as the battle starts. He ults this one person, nukes them, and then they die as fast as possible. Generally, that's a DPS you want to do. So if you move him around, he'll hit somebody with his particular ult. So you can kind of like manipulate who you want him to target to a degree. So it's things like that that are very useful in the battle of AFK Journey that you don't want to sleep on. The last thing I want to talk to you guys about is just going to be like manual ulting. So we're going to go ahead and start the battle. All right, we're going to turn off auto. So I turned off auto and now I'm in charge of when I want my units to ult. Typically, this is good for healers and tanks. Sometimes they can heal when your team's already full with HP. You don't want them to heal because they're already full. And then you'll get hit by a massive nuke, but you've already used your HP because you're on auto battle. So there's gonna be times where you're gonna want to use your manual ults to ensure that your team's surviving and you're doing like adequate strategies, so on and so forth. But those are all my tips for AFK Journey. I hope you guys are having a wonderful time with this game. It just came out. I truly do like it. I do. I'm enjoying this. I'll be playing this in the long haul on my personal time. So yeah, peace, love, and happiness. And I'll catch you on the flip side. And also thank you again to AFK Journey for enabling me to bring this to your awareness.